Bant Reclamation versus Eula. Eula. My opponent first. Keep. I'll play the Hallowed Fountain first to keep up swords and Brainstorm. I'll Brainstorm and then I can potentially shuffle one of these away, depending on what I Brainstorm into. Now I almost want to shuffle away 2 lands, potentially. Okay, I can start by playing the Flooded Strand. That's also an option. Gonna go for a Hedge Maze. Uro seems fine. Now I shall play a Delta and pass the turn. Now I have these 2 up. For this one I would need to fetch, so I would Brainstorm first. Okay, let's see what the opponent is trying to resolve here. Jeskai colors so far. Alright. An Uro. Okay. Actually, let's do it like this. In response to the Uro. That was the wrong way around. I can't believe what I'm just doing here. I'm just gonna Brainstorm first anyway. I wanted to Brainstorm first and then have the shuffle available. So let's shuffle away only the Nexus. And swords away the Uro. Okay, now I can... Okay, now I'm doing things the correct way. At least I'm shuffling the way. I could have shuffled more an extra land here. But it's not too crucial. Not too devastating. I think an island might even be okay here. Play the Uro. Just the fountain. I can use this. I can cycle this later potentially. And now I'm ahead on the land count. And my Uro is actually up next turn already. So I could go straight for an Uro here. I could play the Wilderness Reclamation. But the opponent seems to be... Potentially this is a mirror match. So that would be quite... problematic, so I'm just gonna keep up the headquarters cycle and Archmage Charm. Sanctuary is fine as well. I can put back the charm in case I use it. Now I can just play the Lórien. Just force the opponent to counter this. Yeah. and put it back on top. How much mana do I have? 6, 7. I could Wilderness Reclamation with an Archmage Charm up. I can Uro. I can't even Uro. I don't have the second green. So I fetched pretty badly the whole game. I have to admit that. I don't want to play the Lórien right now without. Then I won't be able to have Archmage Charm up. So I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, a Helix. So the opponent's actually slightly different from what I thought. I thought it was kind of a mirror, maybe. But yeah, red. Well, I know the opponent has counter magic, right? So. Alright, that was pretty good. I'm just... No. I can keep up Charm. But yeah, that drawing was pretty important. Okay, those Helixes are pretty much dead cards for my opponent. I can dig. I can Tidebinder. I'm gonna Tidebinder that just so I can. Well, it's the perfect use for the Tidebinder. And it can pressure it as well.
You're a tricksy one.
Now I'll play the Reclamation. Go into full mode. So before this happens, I'm gonna do this. Put back a headquarters and a Uro for now. Then I will float all mana. Resolve this, play a Nexus, pay for that, resolve that. I can dig, pay for 1, 2, 3, 4. Find another Nexus. And another Uro. Fine with that. Alright, and go into my turn. Play another Reclamation. Go into full control. I still can't play the Uro, which is unfortunate. Can attack here first.
This is my cue to exit.
Go into the end of turn. Float everything. Resolve this. Float everything. Resolve this. Float everything. Play a Nexus. Draw 2 here. And I could flash back the Archmage Charm, but I don't have enough blue mana for that, so I'm gonna go into my turn. Play the search. Play the headquarters. Play an Uro. Put the dig through time on top. Attack with the Tidebinder. Go into full control. Play this. Resolve and pass the turn. Keep that on top. Transform. Play the Teferi. Play an Uro. And the opponent has seen enough. Okay, so let's see. The opponent has Helix. What is this? Is this 4-color creativity, maybe? Something like that. I'll get in some Ashiox. And a Spell Pierce. And 1 Veil. I'm gonna remove a Verdict, one of these, a Swords, and a Snapcaster. Alright, that's a keep. Alright, this will be untapped, this will be untapped, this is tapped. I might have still I'm just gonna start off with this. Okay. And now I have Counterspell up already. Counterspell, Charm, Tidebinder. Okay. Countering that doesn't seem very useful. How many cards in the graveyard? Not that many yet, so I mean the ramp is super nice, of course. That's Uro for you. But I'm gonna use the chance to play my own Oko and just hope, you know, there's an off chance that this remains uncontested for a while, which is a very strong play. Or yeah, once that card stays on the table and creates at least 1 or 2 3/3s, then the value is already there, and it's a problematic card. All right, Minsk and go.
The sun is warm. The air is sweet. He will never rinse. Do tiny go big, or
Okay, how can I deal with this? Tidebinder can obviously prevent the
Blind to
this,
your
but we'll
folly.
keep the 4/4, or I can charm. Alright, I can come attack the
Surely you see the humor here.
Minscan Boo back.
Hands off, you stinking punk!
Gonna pass and try to steal that when the opponent tries to do something with it.
Magic? We have
Now the opponent might have some counterspell, but then I have Teferi as well as another option.
Look at us. We are tough.
I'll try it. It's a risk, of course, but the reward is very high here. I did expect that. The question is now, is the opponent gonna use this 7/7 to just attack Oko? Okay, that's fine for me actually.
May we meet again. Or not.
Alright, an Omnath. Okay, so the opponent got ahead of me pretty much because of the ramp. Now I'm gonna have a lot of trouble getting through. I can put an Archmage Charm back on top and steal the 7/7 next turn though, and not do anything else. And it'll be at the end of the turn, which is too late. I can't attack with the 3/3 through the 3/3. I still think it's probably the strongest play I have. Ah, and then I made the mistake that this is not an island too. Okay, so this game is going pretty badly. So now I think I have to Teferi, and what? Then I'm just gonna bounce that. Oh, wait a minute. Now I can play Teferi and put... No. Teferi and Counterspell is all I have. For now. I can put Teferi, bounce this, and at least get rid of the Minscan Poo. But then the opponent will draw another card from this. But then I can counter it. Okay, let's try that.
Sorry,
But then the 7/7. Okay, but I will... Let's grab a Mystic Sanctuary. Put that on top. Bounce this.
I'll protect you.
Attack this. And keep up one counterspell.
Well, to the tavern. First round is on you, baby.
So still threatening to steal the 7/7. Oh, the opponent can only play spells when they can play a sorcery, at least for now. Okay, but that changes immediately, of course.
We will meet again.
Alright, will I get a chance to steal this 7/7? We will see. Does the opponent have another one? Alright. So the opponent had the right answers all the time. Now I am truly in trouble. I do have Memory Deluge. I'll play this first. Go into full control. I can deluge for 2 less here. I'll spell pierce that. Should I attack? No. Should I deluge? I mean, just because it costs 1 less. I think I have to still keep 3 mana up at least. A veil doesn't really help me much more now, so these 2 will be the selection. Still means that this 7/7 is very problematic, but Teferi can take care of it next turn. Now the opponent can also Uro back Uro, which is also a big problem. A locus. Should I Tidebinder it? I think I will try to. Just to prevent the draw and yeah. Okay. So the draw will still get countered. This was unpreventable anyway. Gonna have to block with this here. Okay. bounce that.
You show remorse, I'll show you. I've got time.
And pass the turn. Still in loads of trouble, heap of trouble here. Minsk and Boo, definitely a strong card. Yeah, there comes the row. The opponent attacks. Who do you attack? Me. So I have to block. And another. Mystic Sanctuary means I could potentially redraw something. But is there anything I even want to redraw? I have the option to try and find a Supreme Verdict.
Let's try this.
I could do it in the opponent's upkeep. Does make a difference. Does make a difference. Because I've... well, Spell Pierce is going to make a difference. Yeah, okay, I'm not finding what I need here, so... The only thing that would have kept me in the game is a Supreme Verdict, but even that would be... not solving the problem entirely, because the Uro is still in the graveyard, so... I think it's just better to go to the next game. Did the opponent have... I was also considering putting in Test of Talents, but I found that there weren't that many instants and sorceries that I could hit with it. So I kind of opted against it. Aether Gust, red or green spells. Uro, Minsk. Not that much other things. Veil of Summer seems good though. And maybe then do Keep of Swords for those pesky creatures. And get rid of one Ashiok. Did Ashiok really was that? Yeah, Ashiok, no, don't get rid of an Ashiok. One charm. And one Tidebinder. Alright, decisive game number 3. Keep. Start with fetching. A tri-land. Gotta keep the 2 blue-green mana in sight. then a Breeding Pool untapped for counter magic. And next turn I could try and play Teferi. But I will not. I don't want it to just simply get countered. That's unfortunate, but I'm still just gonna play it out and pass the turn. Okay, the opponent kept the helixes. End of turn, I'll Deluge. If the opponent counters that, I'm okay with it. Alright. How many Deluges am I losing? 2. Okay. Good target, but alright. So now I cannot just slam. The opponent doesn't have 2 blue. Okay, I'm gonna play this Wilderness Reclamation. And then I have 2 counterspells up next turn. I think that's pretty decisive here. Opponent could leyline here, but the trigger's on the stack, so at least I'll have my 2 counterspells back up online. Alright, survived that turn. That was a risk, definitely, I had took. That Test of Talent, that's an insane good card. I'm almost thinking about playing this main deck sometimes. Each player sacrifices an enchantment. Is it worth fighting over this right now? I don't think so. Fighting over that, yes. I can't Teferi because the opponent will have counter magic up. I think I have to do it. I can't just not do anything the whole time.
Let's slow this down.
I only have swords now to protect myself from an Uro. Which is a good answer to Uro, of course. The opponent still gets the trigger, though, so the Uro replaces itself by drawing a card. Alright, Leyline's fine. Could have opted to go for the draw, then I would actually be up on card advantage, but this is fine. This is also pretty good. Opponent's down to 2 cards, so my dig through time is going to be very valuable. I only have 3 cards in the graveyard as of now. So, but the opponent already used up quite a few answers. 1-to-1 answers only. Alright, so able to live through that turn. Another Leyline Binding. Is that worth fighting over? I don't think so. I don't have even have the mana like uptick here at the moment. And this is exactly why I didn't fight over that. That was a good draw. End of next turn, I'll dig. Pay 4 and pay 4. Haha! Wow, that's brutal. I'm gonna bring in my test up. Oh, there's no other game. There's no next game. Alright, so both my card draw spells got removed here. Ah, there's another one. Should I brainstorm now? Yes, I want to get some land drops in here. There's one, finally. So I'm gonna put back one of these and one of these. Gonna put the brainstorm on top. Just gonna play this, keep the brainstorm on top, that's fine. Yeah, but I did want to get a... This is late, a little late to the party. I'm gonna try and get another land drop. Alright, there's another one. Put this back, put this... I can't shuffle this away at the moment, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna put it behind. Do I want to Archmage Charm to draw at the end of the next turn? I don't... It's also a little bit risky, but no, it's counter magic. I'm gonna keep it as counter magic. These are... Now it's my turn to answer the opponent's stuff. And once my Teferi, once I draw my another Teferi, things should look starting to look better. I also have Ashiok. Now that I have another charm, I could think about using it a little bit more offensively. Opponent's still only on 2 cards. Should I even fight for that? Yeah, a counterspell for trading for a counterspell seems okay for me. Spell Pierce. Wow, I can't believe it. Now the opponent actually gets to use their Spell Pierce and I don't, because Alright, well, at least that's also out of the opponent's hand. I also can't Spell Pierce that, so gonna accept it. Ah, okay, a Veil. Also a little late to the party. Wow. My Spell Pierce and my Veil were super late. Omnath is fine, but I'm not gonna use the charm, I'm gonna use this to get rid of it. This means the opponent will just draw a card here. Alright, here's an Oko. Veil? Yeah. Unfortunately now I'm counterless, at least for the next turn. So the depending on what the opponent draws here, I will have no say against it.
We will break evil's bones. Unless it's boneless. Then magic? We have mastered.
Alright, I'm gonna allow this, take a hit,
Look at us.
but now then I can
We
steal
are
it.
tough.
You're a
And hopefully
tricksy
that
one.
will then finally seal this game.
Your new look is enchanting.
I can also bounce it. I think that might be better, yeah. It's even better because I can use the charm to counter, which is just safer.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Or I can steal the next one. Or maybe that's... don't know. What was the right thing
Evil
here?
never wins.
But this will be able to take off that
too
next turn if the
tiny.
opponent attacks. The opponent might not want to attack.
Magic? We have mastered.
Okay, so will the opponent attack, and if yes, whom? Attacking the Oko here. Should I allow it and let the Oko die? Just to keep up the Archmage charm? Yes. Because I can use this to answer that.
Swallow in your deceit.
And this can keep me up on card advantage. And I have a creature. Okay. Alright, so let's take out that first. Then Sanctuary
us what got their
into
butts kicked.
Archmage charm. Plus the Teferi.
This might be a bad idea.
Play this, and then I can keep up Charm, Pierce, and Swords. If the opponent opts to attack my Teferi... could allow it as well. I think I'm just gonna allow it. It's my last Teferi though, so that means no more Teferis, but I have a creature on the battlefield. I have another Uro as well. Or I could try and steal it, but then I'll be out of counter magic and the opponent can resolve whatever they want. So I'm okay with losing it, keeping up this food elk, and then having the search as well. No rush. I will use the swords again for the locust. This does get the opponent a draw, which is unfortunate. But I still have my counter magic up as well. Well, I should have done it the other way around, right? Countering this doesn't do anything right now. So I'm gonna need... Okay, let's resolve it. Opponent can't replay it immediately. A helix. Okay, finally I can use my spell pierce here. And now I can steal this. No, I don't want to surveil that. Do I want to transform it? Yes. Non-creature, non-land card. Okay. So let's attack. Now the opponent's gonna replay Uro next turn, of course. How much green does the opponent have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the opponent can actually play it twice, which is a problem. And has enough cards in graveyard for endless Uros. So I need to find a way to remove it somehow. Swords is my answer to it. I can activate this once, and then I still have 3 mana available to charm and +1 to spell pierce or swords to plowshares. Alright, so let's do that first. I'll take that. I have to... If I counter this, the opponent can just play it immediately again, right? So I'm just... Wait, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so let's just have it resolved right now. My team wins against this in a fight, though, but the triggers are annoying. I can put something back on top, potentially. Yep. A swords to plowshares. Can I do something about that? Yes, I can counter that. I cannot counter that, but whatever the opponent plays next, if the opponent still does want to play something at instant speed, as long as it's not only 1 mana, I still have the chance here. Take action. No attack. Go into full control here. I could have gone it. No, I couldn't have attacked. They would just block anyway. Alright, in response to this happening, I'm just going to add 2 blue here. Resolve this. Do this. Resolve it. Take the swords. Put them in any order. Kill this. So now the opponent has no threats. Alright, now I have some threats. Not much else to do though. Before this happens, I will use this again. And grab a Nexus. And play the Nexus. This will get countered, that's fine. Okay. But I can keep doing that. Sure. Good thing is this untaps as well, so this is actually a great combination with that too. Just gonna play it here right now. I mean, I'm playing basically. I shouldn't have done that once again, giving the opponent twice the spell pierce that they needed. Now I'm a little under pressure because I only have 4 minutes left on the clock. But this Snapcaster now is probably gonna seal things up. Play quickly here. Yep, take whatever I can from the Azcanta. And now I have Snapcaster into Archmage's Charm. That's probably even counter-worthy because I don't have many threats left. I'm okay with it. I'll just play a Tidebinder at the end of turn. Take a Nexus. Play it. Play a Tidebinder. Play this. Play all the Nexuses, get out of full control mode, play this, put that in the graveyard, attack. Get an Ashiok, play that, move the opponent's graveyard, pass the turn. Yeah, alright. I was close. 1 minute 58 on the clock. But yeah, once this deck... once you have like enough lands and this combo open already, and this search is transformed, then you just, yeah, go fully off. Getting there is not always easy and possible, but I mean, with swords and a lot of counter magic, yeah, you're able to go head to head. I did make quite a few mistakes in this game for sure. Gave the opponent 2 opportunities to use Spell Pierce, which I shouldn't have. Playing a little bit rushed, but that's also due to the factor that time is an issue. This deck you need to play pretty fast because you have you need a lot of full control time, which, yeah, just drains your clock. Plus, then playing against a control lead deck makes this issue even more prominent. But yeah, let's see how the next games go. Bant Reclamation versus Zexen. Let's see which deck the opponent has brought to the table this time. I'll keep a little land heavy. I will start by fetching. This one I can cycle later on. keeping the card on top. A Hallowed Fountain. Alright, I'll fetch. And go for the Tri-land. Alright, now I shall go for the Flooded Strand and pass the turn. The reason I'm using the fetch lands is I want to get as many lands out of the deck as I can at the moment. Flash and hexproof. Okay, so this can actually put a counter on something else and save it as well. But in this case, it's a 1/2. Oh wait, it has hexproof. Okay. Well, I have Supreme Verdict later on. No maximum hand size. If you've drawn more than one card this turn, put X counters on target creature you control. Where X is the card you have drawn -1. Okay. Okay. I will grab a Hallowed Fountain. No. I will grab a Hedge Maze and make use of the Surveil trigger. Charm is fine for me. Do I need to shock here? Yes, I do. I want to have the charm ready. Also want to be able to cycle. Next turn I can Supreme Verdict, getting rid of this thing. But I would prefer if the opponent added some more threats before I do that. A Teferi. Teferi, and then the opponent has 1 mana up for a potential Spell Pierce. I think I still have to try. I cannot just keep playing around Spell Pierce all game. Alright. Put the charm back on top. And pass the turn. I am taking 2 a turn. I don't want to Verdict here and just tap out completely. However, next turn that's still my only option. Oh, that's actually pretty strong. That's how this works. So this works very well with Brainstorm. Okay. Well, maybe I should have Verdict last turn then. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna take 5 here. And my turn. Alright, I'll cycle here. And Supreme. I don't want that right now. Shuffle it back in the library. Now, obviously I'm tapped out, so the opponent can resolve things like that. So this is a hexproof Profts. Wow, immediately turning these into 4 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what do I need? I need another verdict. Could have also Snapcaster Verdict, but yeah, that would have been an option too. I can just chump block with the Snapcaster. It's basically the same result. An Uro is I'm gonna Swords that immediately. The triggers are okay. So that's gonna be 5/5. Should I do this? I think I have to. No, I don't. I'm gonna take the risk and go all the way to 2. I'll try and draw 2 here. I'll counter the memory lapse. This and pass the turn. I'm still now kind of basically almost same as if I were tapped out, but next turn I can Snapcaster into Supreme Verdict again. Okay, yep, flash that stuff. Okay, so I have to use the Snapcaster now to chump block. Which means I cannot use it to get back the Supreme Verdict next turn. But this is my only way of staying in the game beyond this turn. Alright, so the opponent's deck is new to me. Let's see what I need to change around. So there is some counter. Veil test. And then how do I get rid of this thing? Light of Hope seems good. The Purges seem good. And a Spell Pierce, so going full on the whole counter stuff. Should I just go fully out on the Nexuses then? Go down on the kind of combo a little bit. Teferi can't really target anything, neither can Swords. So I think that's not really that useful. Oko can't target them either. But I do need something to close out the game, of course. So I can actually put back in 2 of those. Go down 1 Purge, maybe. The Tidebinder is actually pretty good here. Okay, let's see how this goes. Should go better. So basically, it seems to me the opponent's deck is just super reliant on that one legendary enchantment. So getting rid of that should be enough. I'm gonna start off with the tap land because I'm on the play. And now I can brainstorm and shuffle away something if I want to. Yeah. The opponent can slam down one of those flash creatures, but I think it's the enchantment that matters. Should I use the Spell Pierce now? No, that's fine for me. Alright, so now I can fetch one at a time. Let's go for a Meticulous Archive first. I keep that on top. That means I don't fetch now, right? And pass. I'm okay with that guy. However, any kind of draw spell is going to be problematic now. No, wait a second. No, that's not true. Not without the enchantment. Okay. There it is. Now, the problem I have now is obviously I can't even counter that with the Spell Pierce. And the Test of Talents doesn't counter it either. So we're gonna have to allow this to resolve for now. Okay, so the opponent, okay, it's a 2-3, that's not too devastating yet. But now I have to prevent any draw the opponent may have. So let's start getting Hedge Maze. Teferi's good. Now, can I afford to just play the Teferi and bounce something? No, it's just gonna die, and then they're gonna replay it, and I can't counter it again. So for now, I have to pass the turn. Okay, this one is problematic, right? So now I will start to go against this. With a Test of Talents. Alright, Spell Pierce. There's a ring as well. Teferi, Uro, okay. And 2 Veils as well. And a Shadow Spear, okay. That's a free land drop, basically. Gonna get back Test of Talents and pass the turn. Spell Pierce. So I have to be wary of that one Spell Pierce. Hexproof and unblockable. I do have a Supreme Verdict also still in the deck, which is going to be important. This is basically just giving this one more extra counter. Is that worth it? I'll Spell Pierce it. I'm not sure why I'm doing that. Okay, that was stupid. Yeah, that was just thrown away a card. I don't know what on earth I was thinking. I'm just annoyed that I can't get rid of these cards. And I need an Uro or something. If I draw this, what's the opponent gonna do? I'm gonna do this now.
I'm known for my
Bounce
excellent
that.
timing. That's more like it.
Now the opponent actually is gonna get another draw from it, but the opponent might want to spend a turn killing the Teferi first.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
Okay. So that was just a cycle basically with my Teferi. Which is fine. That's what makes Teferi pretty strong in my opinion. I'm not sure why the opponent didn't spell pierce that. Okay, now I have some mana available. I need an Uro basically to kind of gain life and have some blockers. Of Delusion response. Brainstorm and search.
I am not going to sit this one out. Don't worry, I got this.
Alright, so, got a Nexus. Can I protect it? Yes, I can. So, gonna put back... Now I need those tests, right? So, I'm gonna put back these 2 lands. Put a Veil somewhere on top. Go into the end turn phase. Should I play this first? Then I have 4 mana. Yeah. Oh my god, the opponent has the Teferi, so I can't Nexus here. I forgot about that. Okay, wow. Does that mean I'm dead? Maybe, maybe not. I think it is. Yeah, completely forgot about Teferi as well.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, didn't play well there and not used to that deck the opponent is playing really. That caught me off guard completely, like. But it's so reliant on this one enchantment, which I wasn't. So this, yeah, test of talent. Not enough counters in the opponent's deck that it already made a difference here. Oh well. Yeah, let's learn from the mistakes and go on to the next match. Bant Reclamation versus Master Met. Well met, Master Met. I shall play first. I shall keep. Start off with a Hedge Maze. The opponent is Lórien. Okay. Taking their sweet time. Alright, that should have been a Hedge Maze, but I'm fine with it. I'm in no rush to Brainstorm yet. I have Spell Pierce up. Another land. No. So, Jetmir's Garden. Could this then... No. If it's... It doesn't seem to be Zoo, obviously because of the Lórien. So it's probably some kind of mid-range and like Uro Oko. Omnath, etc. deck. Alright, a shaman, that's fine. Alright, now I shall Brainstorm and put back a Brainstorm and an island. I'll draw the Brainstorm and shuffle away the island. Yeah, that seems fine. I can't play this yet. So that means the shaman will survive a turn. So the opponent could play something like Natural Order or Creativity. No, no Creativity, but Natural Order. Alright, perfect. I don't even need to, I should have Brainstormed first here, but let's just get the Archive. Don't need another land. Spell Pierce this. Play this. Put back these two. Alright, now I think I'm already in pretty good shape. So I'm playing a little sloppy, I admit it, especially with the lands. Jarso can get back the shaman, which is already annoying in on itself. So I'm just gonna charm it away. Especially with the opponent being tapped out. So, I can just Oko free here. And then have charm, Snapcaster and Archmage charm
and all
up.
your cares are gone.
I can fetch first though, it'll become untapped, so there would be no point not getting one of these. I can dig for 2. Snapcaster 821, which is actually pretty okay. I mean, it could fully be a 1-1 and still be good, but 2 is obviously a slightly faster clock. I'll pay 3 actually. Just to keep the graveyard a little bigger. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a Counterspell and a Swords. No, take a Charm and a Swords. Alright, now I can start hitting the opponent.
You to change your ways.
And with this now untapping my land, I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. For now, I'm not making much use of the excess mana I get from this. But for now, it's just important to stay in control of the game. Okay, the opponent's not playing the Lórien yet. I will create another food token.
Welcome to the feast.
Attack. And play a Teferi. I'll just counter this.
Trust me. You'll thank me later. Oh, I've done the hero.
And now I
thing
can
before.
Snapcaster into another charm. Or, no stuff, but charm. Alleged Norn. Should I swords it or counter it? I'll counter it because then I can make use of this Snapcaster. I want to keep the swords for the Lórien. Fetch a tap land here. Attack for 8 and alright. So what is this deck? It's just a, yeah, I think it's one of those 5 color mid-range everything decks. So what is good here? One purge could be interesting, but I'm not sure. Archon. Ashiok is good against Natural Order, and then Jarsel and Oro potentially. If I'm on the draw, maybe Spell Pierce. And then an Aether Gust, but I think for now that's enough already. Alright, let's try this approach. Alright, I cannot keep this hand. 2 fates, those are basically dead cards, and only 1 land. This one's better. And putting the fate back in the deck. I'll start with the headquarters still. A pretty bad draw. The reason is, this deck does want to make land drops consistently, and I don't know. I didn't feel like I will be cycling this. And these are all potentially untapped, so I'll be getting to 4 mana untapped. I'm wondering if this deck could also run a Emperor. But it's already pretty packed. Gonna pass, keep up Spell Pierce. Next turn I can Brainstorm and shuffle away the Nexus and maybe one other thing. Indatha Trio. Alright. The opponent could be running Bowmasters, but I think I'm gonna take the risk here, so let's Brainstorm. Okay, it resolves. So, definitely putting back a Nexus, and then probably an Archive, yeah, because I can fetch that later on with the Swamp, so that's actually a good shuffle. And now I can actually just straight up grab the Archive or a Hedge Maze. I'll grab a Hedge Maze instead. Swords seems good. Alright, and now I shall play an island. No, I'll play the Flooded Strand. Why? Because I can use it to fetch in case I don't need the mana. And now I have Swords and Spell Pierce available. Next turn I can start to potentially refill my hand. I have a Teferi that can bounce things. Raphine's Tower. So my opponent's definitely running Leyline. I would, if I were running a domain deck. Alright, end of turn I will fetch a... Wait a... Okay, no. I only have 3 mana. I thought I could Memory Deluge. So grabbing an Archive. Reclamation is fine too. Alright, gonna keep up just Memory Deluge first though. I wanna... It's always good using that at the end of turn to potentially pull out something in response. Okay, that was unfortunate. Now, is there more counter magic? I don't think so. I think that deck mainly runs Spell Pierces. I mean, the opponent could have another one, but yeah. That's the risk I was taking here, and I'm willing to take there. Okay. I couldn't have Spell Pierced that anyway. So that is a little unfortunate now. That means I might need to go like this in order to keep up my Spell Pierce and or swords. Sure.
Open your heart to the magic that dances around you. Surely you must be famished.
Now I could bounce either of these. No, not the Oko, only this. Is that really worth anything though? I don't have counter magic up either. But let's try. I'll get a draw at least from the Teferi. I might get to use my Spell Pierce. And then I'll potentially untap everything.
Right on schedule. Trust me, I have a plan.
Alright, drew a Nexus. Is that sufficient? No. Again, forgetting to go into full control. That's problematic. That was a blunder. Should have just swords that. Yes. I will lose my Teferi just against the Oko token. So, yeah, I forgot to go into full control mode again. I would have liked to try to Nexus.
Let's broaden your existence.
But I was thinking about the Leyline binding as well. I'm gonna do it this turn then now. The upcoming turn. Alright, Counterspell's good. I'm gonna fetch. Do I want to fetch something to put back on top? No, just an island's fine. Alright, now I will end turn, float, resolve, Spell Pierce, float, Nexus, and keep up Counterspell. Okay. Now I will be going to my main phase. End of turn. Go into full control. Float. I'll undo. Why? Because I want blue mana. I wish this, like, I don't really know yet how you make as much blue as possible. Okay, now I can just deluge for free. Grab another Nexus and a Teferi or the Search. Or a Tidebinder. No, I don't want to put back that. I want to put back one of these and this. Alright, go back into my end of turn phase. Get as much mana as possible. Resolve that. Play this. Pay full price. Get a Charm and a Supreme Verdict, perhaps, or an Ashiok. I could just draw 2 with the Charm. I think I'm going to do that. Now it's actually the opponent's turn. I didn't play the Nexus. Alright, let's try and Tidebinder that. So, yeah, I would, again, making quite a big mistake there. I'm a little lost concentration here by now. That Nexus should have been played. Especially with the opponent being tapped out. Now the opponent has a lot of things going on. Okay, but still. I'm gonna start off with this.
This isn't a fight you
bounce this.
I've got it.
Do I also want to play this? I think I do. I have enough mana to count. Let's just activate it once.
Behold, my epilogue of fear.
Go into full. Alright. Plus this.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
I can Snapcaster Mage, dig through time. Finding this and this.
I've got time.
starting to amass a little bit here.
Trust me, I have a plan.
I could replay the Uro, but I don't have another blue. And then to counter stuff, but I could try. Now I do. Alright, go back to full control. Add all this mana. Play this. Nothing else to play, so I can go into my turn. Play my own Oko.
The brambles of truth twirl and curl. Choking
Turn that
out
into a
lie.
token.
Oh dear.
Attack. Oko. I could have not even turned that into a 3/3, to be honest. I could have just attacked, but I mean, next turn I do want to prevent those triggers from the opponent. I'll play Lórien next. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can keep up a counterspell, so that's good. And then hopefully I will be drawing another Nexus of Fate. Opponent is using up all timeouts. Yeah, I should have attacked first before deciding what to do with the Oko, for sure.
Quite the nibble.
Alright, drawing 3 here. Didn't draw any of those. I'm just gonna plus this.
That's more like it.
And I will be untapping. Alright. And now I have 3 counter spells. My Uro is the biggest thing. The opposing Oko can actually turn it into a 3/3. Then it'll be toe-to-toe or just cancel out the Omnath, but I have a Snapcaster and then I have another Oko in the pipeline. And of course a lot of potential for drawing Nexuses, which then allow me to all these abilities of the Planeswalkers. So I think my opponent is in a difficult position. The opponent's deck doesn't run, it does run counter magic, but as far as I know the deck, it runs 4 spell pierces only. Mainly to counteract the decks that kind of win on the spot on turn 3-4. And the opponent concedes. So yeah, able to come back from the opponent's Oko start and able to pull off a victory. So yeah, still making some mistakes here. I took a few days off from playing the game, and it feels like I did get a little rusty in that time. But yeah, especially fetching lands, you know, the little details. But overall, yeah, this deck definitely one of my preferred decks to play. It's a lot of fun. I get to play, you know, these three guys. A very strong combo of Nexus and Wilderness Reclamation. I have Uro and a lot of counter magic for being such a, you know, proactive deck at the same time. I mean, it's still mainly reactive, but having Uro and especially Oko early on can be a threat on its own. And then you have Snapcaster and the Tidebinder, which you don't get to run in all decks either. But here, yeah, they seem pretty good. The problem with Tishana is I feel that often it just hits the battlefield and then just gets removed immediately because the opponent hasn't had many targets for their removal spells previously. So I'm debating on adding maybe a Wandering Emperor. The problem with Wandering Emperor is that it has an extra white mana in this cost, and you already need 2 blue and 2 green for Uro, so it would tax the main mana base a little bit more. But anyway, let's continue playing with this list for now and see how the next game goes. Bant Reclamation versus Blighted Mind. Yeah, this hand is keepable. No counter magic. And a Mystic Sanctuary that's not live yet and could turn into a potential tapped land. So I might need to decide pretty soon if I want to just play it tapped instantly. And I think that's actually the play here. Two pretty mid-game cards, mid to late. Tomogorth is actually not too devastating here. I have to play this like that, and I have to just remove this like this. Just do it now. Alright, next turn I could Uro. Okay, iteration. Finding a land and a shaman. Yeah, I kind of expected that. That means Uro is now off the table. But I will pass the turn, keep up Counterspell, and otherwise I'll Snapcaster into swords. Now the opponent can actually counteract that Snapcaster into swords with the shaman, so I'm just going to counter this. The opponent is obviously counteracting my Snapcaster pretty heavily. Now I could just go straight for the Wilderness Reclamation, and then next turn I would have Nexus of Fate available to me already, which is already a pretty strong play. These two cards are useless right now against the Shaman, so I think the Wilderness Reclamation is the way to go here. Going for the green mana. Now this opened up a Snapcaster into swords up path as well, but I'm gonna go for the wilderness here. Wow, that full control didn't give me a chance to do much. should have hit it earlier. But okay, I have untapped mana now. Opponent already starting to activate that. Okay, now obviously I can't snap into anything, so I'm just gonna pass the turn. Play a land. Play an untapped land. Alright, the opponent is again using the shaman early to do something. No. Okay. Oopsies. Alright, that's good though, in the regard that I can do the following. So that the Brainstorm doesn't destroy me here. Okay. Still, the shaman is now a problem officially. What do I don't want? I don't want these two lands for now. Okay, so now I don't have enough to dig. I'm digging 3. Okay, I think I have to do it. Alright, do this, do this. Play 2, play 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd like a counterspell and the swords. I do want to get rid of the shaman so that I can start this Uro action. So a counterspell and a Tidebinder would have been interesting as well. Alright, so that went pretty good. What do I need? This seems like a Jund list. Yeah, straight up Jund. Okay. So Aether Gust. A veil, maybe. Didn't see too much Thought Season stuff, but that doesn't mean the opponent isn't running it. A Divine Purge. Or 2. Another Spell Pierce since I'm on the draw. Go down on the Tidebinder. Go down on 1 Charm. Go down on Light of Hope. I want the Light of Hope. The opponent might be running, bringing in a Blood Moon. Opponent is thinking deeply about their sideboarding options. Alright, Blighted Mind. Let's see what game number 2 brings us. Is now also taking their sweet time to decide. I'm not sure when it says your opponent is choosing which player will play first, if that's the opponent actually choosing who's playing first, or if they're already looking at their first 7. Alright, the opponent has the to-do, has the initiative. Or has the opponent already seen enough in the previous game? Alright, so a quick victory against Jund. Alright, so nothing spectacular today. Yeah, as I said, I took a few days from playing because I had to take care of some things. Yeah, slowly getting back into it, starting off with this deck. Which, yeah, I do enjoy playing. It has all the tools to, yeah, stabilize in the early game and then quickly go, you know, away with it in the mid to late game. It's nice because once you had 4 lands and then the Wilderness Reclamation, then you basically have, at the end of turn, you'll have the 8 mana available. So you can already start, you know, just throwing in a Deluge before end of turn and then untapping fully afterwards is already very strong. So it's basically at instant speed, your spells are all, like, you have double the amount of mana available at end of turn, which is very strong. Obviously, there is cards which can disrupt, and then it hurts to pay 4 to play the Wilderness Reclamation, and then it gets immediately removed, and then you're tapped out the next turn. So, of course, you have to be careful in some instances, but yeah, the counter spells are there, and Archmage Charm is strong. Memory Deluge is a great card to have. I like the Search for Azcanta as well, which is a fun card to have and play. Surveilling, and then later on, it's just a huge, you know, finding you all the stuff you need. Counters, removal, and then the Nexus. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have fun. See you in the arena, and peace.